Today we're hopping on the red bus. Well, not that red, but hop on board with us as we explore this amazing city. Let's start with something you simply cannot ignore riding through these streets. Johannesburg is by every measure the economic engine of South Africa. It contributes roughly 16% of the country's entire GDP. This is where the money is, and you see it. The magnitude of the wealth in Johannesburg. McLaren dealership, Rolls-Royce. This city was literally built on wealth, and that wealth still flows through these streets today. Johannesburg is not naturally forested. When Johannesburg was founded in 1886, the entire area was open, high-veld grassland. But as this city grew, residents and mining estates planted trees, millions of them. Today, Johannesburg is considered one of the largest man-made urban forests in the world, with an estimated 10 million trees inside the city limits. Joburg is literally a man-made forest, and I still think, even though many people won't agree with me, it's one of the most beautiful cities if you look at it. Really a special place. Now, we have to give this next stop its moment, even if it's brief. This is the house that Mandela lived with, his third wife. That house in Houghton is where Nelson Mandela spent his final years and where he passed away on the 5th of December 2013. If there's one thing that tells you about a city's ambitions, it's the schools it builds, and Johannesburg has built some extraordinary ones. This is St. John's College, one of the most beautiful schools in South Africa and one of the most expensive schools. So pretty. St. John's was founded in 1898. The settlement was barely a decade old and already building elite institutions. Every single year they have the St. John's Easter Rugby Festival. As a schoolboy, our school used to tour here to come play rugby and always enjoyed it thoroughly. It's an amazing school with amazing facilities. Like I said, one of the most expensive schools in South Africa, showcasing the wealth, especially in Johannesburg once again. Hey, real quick, if you're enjoying this tour and learning something new about Johannesburg, do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. We're about to enter Joburg CBD, which is a bit dilapidated, but otherwise still carries a significant amount of history, and it's got this energy to it, the Johannesburg entrepreneurial energy, which still makes it quite a special place. In the 1970s and 80s, this was the financial capital of Southern Africa. But then in the 1990s, businesses moved north to Sandton, to Rosebank, and the CBD went into steep decline. But it never died. Walk these streets and you'll find thousands of entrepreneurs who have made this their home. We're in central Johannesburg now, and as I said earlier, this place is dilapidated to an extent that is unbelievable. Some of these buildings have been hijacked by illegal foreigners, and it's sad to see that the city that was once so strong is busy crumbling. And who knows, will this change? We'll see. Maybe with elections, if another party wins, they can bring a change. But this was the heartbeat of Johannesburg and the economic hub. Probably still is quite a big hub. In the High Court is just here. Even the Constitutional Court is close by. But looking at the state of it, it's not really a place you want to be. Sad to see it fall like this. But who knows, maybe in the near future we can have some change. There are genuine renewal projects happening right now and new developers who believe in what this place can be. The story of Joburg CBD is not over. This is the Joburg City Hall on our left. Architecture is incredible. Officially opened in 1950, City Hall is one of the finest examples of classical architecture in South Africa. Interestingly, Johannesburg was only declared a city in 1928. So Johannesburg is one of the largest cities in the world, not built close to a major coastline or on the river. It exists purely because of its gold. Everything you see in this skyline was built on one thing: gold. The discovery of gold on the Witwatersrand by George Harrison, no, not the guitarist from the Beatles, was one of the most consequential economic events in world history. Within a decade, Johannesburg went from zero to one of the busiest cities in the Southern Hemisphere. So this part of the city is where the gold mining magnates had their offices back then. You can see the high buildings as a resemblance of what it was and what it used to be. The men who built this city, the landlords, names like Cecil John Rhodes, Barney Bonato, and Alfred Bate, accumulated fortunes that rivaled the wealthiest people in the world. As you can see up here is the headquarters of the EFF, one of South Africa's biggest political parties, quite controversial. Julius Malema, their leader, has even been mentioned in the White House. And he said some outrageous things that many South Africans don't agree with. South Africa has never been a quiet place politically. That energy and that refusal to be silent is part of what makes it one of the most compelling countries on earth. On my right here, we have got Gold Reef City. It's a theme park. And It's one of Joburg's coolest places to come to. Fun recreational activities to do. Very cool place when they open. Gold Reef City is genuinely a fantastic destination. The theme park, the heritage museums, the underground gold mine tour. If you're visiting Johannesburg with family, this is definitely a must. So we've got people protesting here outside of Gold Reef City. Not quite sure what the reason is, but it seems to be about not being paid properly. A reminder that beyond the entertainment and lights, the people who run these places deserve to be treated fairly. And while we're here, one interesting thing that I've noted in Johannesburg and across South Africa is the amount of betting platforms. Most of the billboards, as you can see, the one that we just passed, and now another one again, there's all advertising gambling. And I do think it's quite concerning that so many people are gambling in South Africa. But we'll delve deeper into that on another video. Another iconic landmark over here. We're crossing Nelson Mandela Bridge in Johannesburg. As you can see, in the city center. And underneath us, we've got the railway track with trains on. I'm not really sure if it's working. Yeah, iconic landmark. When opened in 2003, Nelson Mandela Bridge was the largest cable-stayed bridge in Africa. It's still a beautiful piece of engineering. And here's something that the residents told us, something that's quite hard to ignore. Prior to the G20, there was a massive cleanup of Johannesburg, and they were fixing roads, fixing potholes, fixing the city to make it attractive for the leaders of the G20 summit. So contradicting, because what they should be doing is fixing these roads for the residents, but they fix it up merely to display Johannesburg as a city that is working. This city can be fixed. The roads can be repaired. That's actually the hopeful part of this story. The capability exists. The question is simply, who are we doing it for? And South Africans are paying very close attention to that answer. You know, I had this perception about Johannesburg that was not really positive, but after that tour, it really changed. I love this city. I think it's one amazing city, highly underrated. Yes, it has its problems, but please subscribe to our channel so you can watch this video, send it to all your friends, let them see what Johannesburg really is and what it stands for. If this video changed how you saw Johannesburg even a little, drop a comment below and tell us what surprised you the most. We read every single one. Subscribe if you haven't already. We are True Talk Media, and we will see you in the next one. Thanks for your support.